Family, I'm about to show you exactly how I helped a young couple buy a $500,000 home with just $7,500 out of pocket. And no, this is not clickbait. This is a real strategy that I've personally used to help multiple clients in the Charlotte area get into homes that they thought they were years away from affording. Now, I know what you're thinking, Sir Ashley, that's less than 2% down. How was that even possible? Well, stick around because I'm going to break down the entire process, step by step, including the exact program we used, the timing tricks that made it work, and how you can determine if this strategy could work for you as well. And by the end of this video, you'll have a clear roadmap on how you can potentially save tens of thousands of dollars when you go to buy a home. Now, before I jump in, let me quickly introduce myself to those of you who do not know me. I'm Sir Ashley. I've been in real estate for over a decade as a real estate attorney, as a real estate investor, and a licensed real estate agent, both in North Carolina and South Carolina. And I help people buy, sell, and invest every single day. And I've helped over 1,000 families move to or within the greater Charlotte area in that time frame. If you're interested in buying or selling, please reach out to me. I would love to help. Now let's jump into it. Now, the last handful of months, I've helped 3 different families get into homes with less than 3% down, including the couple who I'm going to tell you about who only brought $7,500 to closing on their home. All right, family, let's get into it. But first thing you need to understand is that this strategy works by stacking multiple programs together. It's not just one magic solution. Now, for our couple, let's call them Melissa and Jason. We used a combination of 3 different programs. First, we used the North Carolina Housing Finance Agency first-time homebuyer program. Now, despite the name, you don't actually have to be a first-time homebuyer to qualify. I know, it's confusing. You just cannot have owned a home in the last 3 years. So if you had a home during the Great Recession and lost it or sold it, so long as you did not own a home in the last 3 years, you can still qualify for this program. This program provided them with $8,000 down payment assistance loan that doesn't require monthly payments. And the best part of this program is that it's completely forgiven. That down payment assistance is completely forgiven if they stay in a home for 15 years. Secondly, we pair that down payment assistance with a conventional loan program where it's a 97% loan through Freddie Mac's Home Possible program. Now, the Home Possible program only requires 3% down to begin with. And number 3, this is where most people miss out. I was able to negotiate with the seller to contribute $5,000 toward closing costs. Now, let me break down the math for you. On a home purchase of $500,000, a 3% down payment would normally be about $15,000. Well, the NC Housing Finance Agency covered $8,000 of that. That left Melissa and Jason needing to bring $7,000 to the table for down payment. So that left Melissa and Jason needing to bring $7,000 to the table for down payment. Let's not forget, I was able to negotiate with the seller, so the seller gave them $5,000 in closing costs as well. Now, because we negotiated $5,000 seller contribution towards closing costs, my clients only needed to bring $7,500 total for closing. That's it. $7,500 on a $500,000 property. Now, I know some of you are thinking, Sir Ashley, in this market, sellers aren't agreeing to paying closing cost money. Well, that's where timing comes in. To those thinking that, you are partially right, because timing plays a part in this. Here's the timing strategy that we use that you can copy. We specifically target homes that have been on the market for at least 30 days. In Charlotte right now, if a home hasn't been sold in 30 days, sellers are starting to get a little antsy, a little nervous. And we found this beautiful home in Still Creek that's been listed for about 44 days with no offers. So instead of going in with a lowball offer on the purchase price, we offered slightly below asking price, but also requested $5,000 seller contribution. And that psychology is easier for a seller to accept than getting a very lowball offer. As opposed to offering $15,000 below the asking price, what we offered was $10,000 below asking price and $5,000 in seller concessions. And that was way more palatable, and they accepted that offer. Now, we also did what I call a pre-inspection strategy. Before we made our offer, we had our inspector do a quick walkthrough. Not a full inspection, just enough to make sure there weren't any major issues. This allowed us to know exactly what we were getting into for the most part. Granted, it wasn't a full inspection. So my clients felt more comfortable making that offer knowing that the home had already been pre-inspected by our inspection company. Now, the timing on this is crucial. You see, most offers get submitted on the weekend. We submitted our offer on a Tuesday. You see, they hadn't received any real action during that weekend, so they were more receptive to our offer, even though it was significantly lower than the asking price. Now let's talk about whether you might qualify for these programs. For the NC Housing Finance Program, here are the main requirements. Your income needs to be below certain limits, which vary by county. In Mecklenburg County, it's currently $89,000 for a single person or $102,000 for a couple. Your credit score has to be at least a 640. Not perfect, but decent. And you need to complete a free home buyer education course, which you can do online. It does take 4 hours though. And the home needs to be your primary residence, no investment properties. Now for the Freddie Mac Home Possible program, your income needs to be at or below 80% of the area median income. And your credit score needs to be at least a 660. Also for that program, you need to have at least 2 months of mortgage payments and reserves after closing. Now I understand that may sound like a lot of requirements, but here's the thing. About 65% of my clients qualify for at least one of these programs. And in fact, many of them qualify for both. The income limits are higher than most people realize. So here's your step-by-step action plan if you choose to utilize these strategies. Number 1, get pre-qualified with a lender who specializes in these programs. Not all lenders offer them, and some lenders who do offer them don't know how to stack them properly. I'll put a link in the description to where if you enter your email, you'll get a list of these lenders that I recommend. Step number 2, complete the home buyer education course right away. It's free, it's online, and it's required for the down payment assistance. Please do not put this off. Get through this home buyer education program as soon as possible. And number 3, work with an agent to identify homes that have been on the market for at least 30 days. I'm that agent. Work with me. In Charlotte right now, there are about 350 homes that fit this criteria. I would love to help you find those. Step number 4, have your agent reach out to the listing agent before making an offer to gauge their openness to seller contributions. I do this for every offer we make. Step number 5, structure your offer as I described. You don't want to come in with a full price offer, but you don't want to come in with an extremely low ball offer, because we want to have a sweet spot to where we're not turning the sellers off, but we're getting what we want, which is a lower price, but we also want seller's contribution so we can use toward closing costs. Step number 6, be ready to move quickly once your offer is accepted. These programs sometimes take a little longer to close, so having all your documentation ready in advance is crucial, because when we're making this offer, the seller's agent is going to be a little bit skeptical because there's a lot of red tape and bureaucracy with these loan programs. But we need to ease their mind and let them know that we're ready to move fast and move quickly. We have everything in order. So help yourself out by preparing and having everything ready so we can have a smooth closing. Now, I know some of you are thinking this, Sir Ashley, isn't it a little risky to be buying a home with so little down? And that is a fair question. Here's the reality. Yes, you have less equity starting out, but in the Charlotte market, we've seen an average appreciation every year of about 5.5% over the past decade. At that rate, you'll build equity through appreciation much faster than you would if you put down a larger down payment. And remember, the alternative is continuing to pay rent while trying to save up for a larger down payment. In that scenario, you're missing out on all the appreciation and building zero equity. Now, others might be wondering, what about mortgage insurance? Yes, you will have PMI with this low down payment. But with today's rates, PMI on a conventional loan with good credit is only about $150 to $200 a month on a $500,000 loan. And once you reach 20% equity, you can request to have that removed. And once you get to 22% equity, it has to fall off automatically. So there you have it, family. The exact strategy we use to get Melissa and Jason buying their $500,000 home with just $7,500 out of pocket. Now, this is not some theoretical concept. This is a real strategy that real people are using right now in Charlotte and throughout North Carolina. If you're interested in exploring whether this could work for you, I've put together a free guide that goes into this in even more detail about these programs, including income limits for every county in North Carolina. The link to that is in the description below. And if you found this helpful, please do me a favor, tap that like button. It really helps the channel. So if you have any questions, leave it in the comment section and I'll respond personally. I'm Sir Ashley and I'm committed to helping you build wealth through real estate. Talk